All right, so this story is one that I hold very near and dear to my heart, not only because it has to do with, amongst other things, but it's a really, really fun memory that I have, especially as kind of a, starting out with animation in the animated series. I mean, that whole kind of first year with it was really exciting. I'd never done a casting call before. I'd never done a series before to that scale, to I guess this scale, because it's still got ongoing. Of course, I'd done animation before, but yeah, it was all really exciting. And actually sharing this with other people in the form that it is now. So yeah, it was really cool. But part of what goes into the animation, especially episode one, was the sound effects. So I decided I really, really didn't want to use like stock sound effects or anything like that. I wanted to be brave and bold and go out into the wide, wide world, like out in my backyard or something, and get the sound of birds. That's exactly what I did though for episode one. Actually, the very first clip has a few bird sounds. Those were taken from my backyard, recorded on my old phone. And yeah, that's kind of what I did. I saw which ones that I needed. Phil dropping his fork was was me dropping a fork on our table, and again recording it with my phone. So it was really, really exciting. So a lot of those sound effects that I could get at home or in my backyard or whatever were really easy to get. Some of the more difficult ones were when Chris went to Filigree Estates. And there were instead ones like the fountain and the gate. Me and the gate have a history. For anyone who watched those streams that I did a couple years back, there was a stream. I think it's actually posted here too of like just the saga of me and the gate or something. It's not titled that, but it's something to do with me and the gate. Yeah. So those two sound effects in particular were the most difficult to get. Well, I'll say the fountain wasn't so hard, but the gate, hmm, hmm. So I let my mom know. She's always been really, really supportive and encouraging with helping out with the series. She's my creator consultant. Like she's so great. I will probably make another video about this that's more writing based or something. But like she's read so much that a lot of times when I'm kind of pitching ideas to her, she's just like, no, or yeah, no, sounds good. Because like I said, she's just read so much. She's seen it all. So she's a really, really good person to talk about stories with, and just in general helping out. And well, hey, if you saw the animation set of video, she is DIY master. You can only hope to be to her level one day. um, but yeah, so I told her, okay, well, I need to find a fountain and I need to find a gate. And she's like, okay, well, I have a few ideas. And let's go and drive around. And that was really, really fun too, because I believe it was still during the summer, so it was still pretty warm. Days were still a little bit longer, unlike what they are now, but that's okay. They'll get longer again. And we found a fountain pretty quick. I remember actually a week or something, or a few days prior to this, I had been hanging out with a friend and there was a fountain outside the mall that we went to, but like there was music and people and traffic noises, and yeah, that didn't work. We needed to find a fountain all natural, just unblemished, I don't know, fountain sound, pure 100% real. But no, anyways, so there is a neighborhood in our town that has like water features next to the sign for it. And so we're just like, yeah, so we'll go there. And so we drove up there. She parks next to the fountain, just on the off street off of it. That doesn't make sense. The street off of it. And I hop out with my trusty phone. My phone. and I record it. And luckily, like, no one speeds by and, like, ruins it or whatever. But I get quite a bit of it just in case. So that if, like, the wind or the breeze or whatever kind of affected it, or a car or something. But like I said, I don't think there were any. So that was really, really nice. And I got the fountain sound, and I love it. It's so great. I'm so proud of that fountain sound. I mean, I didn't do it, but like I recorded it, and I went out there and I was brave and bold, right? And then next was the gate, and we're like, okay. And again, Mom was like, I got some ideas. So we go around town to all these gates. We go to things like tennis courts. There used to be there is a tennis court that is where I used to live. We went there, and I walked up, walked up to it, and just kind of opened and shut the gate and see if it would be a good sound for it. Yeah, I did this a lot around town. It was an interesting day. And so, but I still was not quite finding what I wanted. Like, in episode 1, it's this big, heavy metal gate. I mean, iron, whatever. It needed to have presence to it. All of these little chain link fences just weren't doing it for me. And so he kept on driving around. I kept on running out and being the sketchiest person on the planet. Like, opening and shutting these gates. I'm so glad that there was, like, not many people out or something. Especially, like, near this apartment complex. I was a little bit scared. Um, yeah, the things you do for your project. And we go around and we're still trying to come up with ideas, but none of them are just quite working. And I'm like, I don't know, it's not quite there. It's not quite what I want. And we're like, this sounds a little bit whiny. It's not what I want. But I really had a definite idea of what I wanted. The recordings that I had were not quite it. So the sun's starting to go down. We head home. I think maybe I tried the gate back in our backyard and the tennis court behind there. But again, they're like chain links and they're too rattly. And I'm like, all right, maybe a door. I think maybe I tried door. I don't know. Maybe I didn't try a door. And then we're telling my brother about our adventures and sound affecting and recording and being a little bit sketchy, to be honest. And as we're telling him, we walked into our game room, which is in the back of our house. And our eyes land on the potbelly stove that's in the corner of the room. And the door that's on the potbelly stove in the room, that is this heavy iron fixture. I'm not sure where I was going with that. Heavy iron door, okay? And we kind of look at each other and we're like, oh my gosh. Really? Really? I walk up. I think we might even stop mid-sentence, like while we're talking to my brother. And I walk up and I open it and I shut it. Or something like that. And I look at my mom and my brother and I'm like, here's the gate. I'm like, it was here the entire time. And so I got the recording of it on my handy dandy phone. And that's the sound effects that got used in the episode. It was our potbelly stove. But yeah, me and the gate have a history. A little bit of a side note, I guess Easter egg, you could say, for episode 1. Put like a screenshot or something over there. On the screen. Is that when Will is listening to the guards talking to Chris, he walks over to a tree and leans on it. On the tree, there is a heart carved into it that says K plus G. Kaylani, my name. X gate. Yeah, that's what it is. I feel like I might have even written that on the gate. Oh my gosh, did I? I don't remember. It might be in the stream. I could have done that. But I definitely know the tree one. I definitely know that. So yeah, that's the story of the sound effects and amongst other things, at least for episode 1. Other ones were really, really fun, really quickly, like the Chris and Will running. I just kind of put shoes on my hands and clapped them on a chair or against one another and stuff, which was really fun and getting the timing right. For the grass sounds, actually, I found I took this old like shovel handle. The shovel part had like long since broken off, so it was basically a wooden stick. And I found out that if you tied like that packing kind of material, it's not like the styrofoam stuff, it's not like the pellets or anything like that, but like the wrap kind of stuff. It really kind of sounds like grass. And so I just kind of squeezed that a bit. That sounds really weird. To get that sound effect. Again, the things that you will do for your project. Many things. And I think that was most of the main sound effects. As far as future episodes, I haven't used as many because I just haven't really felt like that there's been a big need for them in the episodes that I've followed. Mr. S, though, was really, really fun. I just kind of, like, knocked on a table and stuff like that to get the wooden sounds for his cane and such. I don't know if I want to share this as not, because I think it's kind of fun, as a little secret. But, you know what? Secret time. Mr. S, in episode 3, when he's, spinning the cane, I actually made that sound effect, though, or whatever, for the spinning sound. I was really proud of that. So yeah, that's all the sound effects that I can kind of think of. We'll see where they take me next as the show, the series progresses, the animated series progresses, and see if I have to be brave and bold once more and possibly be a little bit sketchy as I go around town. Hopefully not opening and shutting gates, but maybe finding something else to help, amongst other things, be how I want it to be. So yeah, well, thanks for listening to my adventures in projecting, specifically with finding sound effects. It's really fun. Yeah, if you're doing an animated series, like, it's pretty easy to, like, try to do your own sound effects. I mean, it can be really fun, and then you can make them, hopefully exactly how you want them to be. And maybe you can have adventure along the way, too. So, well, I hope you have an awesome day, and see you in the next one. Bye.